Hello, everyone. Here we are again. Just gonna let everyone start filtering in here as we do the countdown to. So this will be the countdown to the launch of the Absolute Universe Kickstarter. First Kickstarter. Hello, Albert. It's hard to actually see everyone unless you say howdy. It doesn't really pop up. So feel free to say your hellos or whatever. But yeah, it's good to see everyone here. Jenna will be joining us here shortly. We're going to talk a bit about the all of the things that are connected with this Kickstarter. We've got quite a few surprises in store. Hopefully, some of you may have actually seen. We did try to put up the preview. So if you saw or clicked over, you can actually see some of the various packages, and we're going to kind of go over those packages here as we do the countdown. So looks like we've got a few people here. So and Jenna will be popping over here any second to chime in. But if you haven't seen the current, until it's live, the current link I'm posting right now, this will be a very short Kickstarter in general, because we're not trying to draw this out. Also, because right on the heels of this, we'll be launching shortly the Kickstarter for issue 6 of White Widow and issue 3 of Darkon, which, if you saw any of the Dragon Con videos, which are still available, you can take and see a bit more on those. But this does have, if you missed White Widow Kickstarter on the last one with I Make Boys Cry, this does give you a chance to get that as well. So here we're going to just kind of go through. So as you can see on the Kickstarter, we do offer all of the connected universe titles. You've got White Widow, of course. Good to see you, Andy. We do have White Widow, of course. For those not familiar, White Widow is kind of the cornerstone to the Absolute Universe. She was a typical college student. The only thing strange about her was her hair was white. And at least that's what she thought. And those who've read saw that quite quickly things changed. She is kind of the glue to our entire universe. And things kind of will spin out and interconnect there. That doesn't mean she's the first character in our universe. It's just she's kind of the glue. In much the same way as early Marvel, Fantastic Four was that glue. So for our connected universe, that's what that is. We've also got Darkon. Darkon is kind of our, for lack of a better analogy, like a Doctor Strange, but with a very, very dark secret. No pun intended. We've got Amped, which is about a group of teenagers who have they have issues that mobility issues, and they're given these souped up android bodies in order to kind of escape their limitations and stuff. And we'll talk more on that. First Defense is a quirky, fun story about the first daughters and sons of presidents throughout our history have been given powers by this alien to prepare for upcoming alien invasion. And it's kind of this contract between this alien and the United States that's kind of kept us safe and given us our edge, we find out throughout our nation's history. But now that impending alien invasion is finally about to be on our doorstep, so they become awakened. This series actually will be a major player in our history, in our universe, with wide ramifications. We've got Dual Identity, which obviously has already crossed over in issues 3 and 4 with White Widow. It's the character's Artemis. She's the world's greatest spy, but now she's been outed, and she has to pretend to be the world's first superhero. And then you've got Katrina, which it's a vampire story set on the backdrop of Hurricane Katrina, but it will intersect with the rest of our universe. Even though this is set initially in 2005, when Hurricane Katrina hit, it absolutely does, and you guys will be pleasantly surprised, I believe, when you see that. Speaking of history, Wayward Legends is set in 5,000 years ago. 2 groups of aliens crash landed on Earth, and the resulting war inspires every myth, legend, and fairy tale in human history. This is the complete history of our universe. It explains why the absolute universe has advanced technologies, advanced science, why there are dimensional things, why we're a nexus point, etc. So it is the past, and then that then informs another series, which we'll get to in a second. We've got Pandora, our Absolute Flip book, which that's an anthology series. So this series, Absolute Flip book, will actually have a lot of different series in it. First up are Pandora's Blogs. It's a teenage blogger who moves to a mysterious town filled with seeming monsters. And then you've got Monster Isle, which are some teens, seems to be a running theme here, that are looking for this mysterious theme park that right before World War II got shut down when the owner and creator got put into a Japanese internment camp. That one's written by Larry Hama, who, if you don't know Larry, basically most everything you think of when you think of Wolverine, that's Larry Hama, basically the creator of the 80s G.I. Joe. He's easily one of my favorite writers of all time. Believe it or not, we also have Markiplier. If you've ever heard of Markiplier, he is the YouTube star, and this series centers around him as he bumbles through the absolute universe. When he gets this watch in the mail, doesn't read the instructions, pushes a button on it, and finds himself falling through this portal into our worlds. You've got Wayward Sons. This is the modern day half-human hybrid children of the Wayward Legends we talked about earlier. And then last but not least, the first spin-off directly out of White Widow, I Make Boys Cry. So this Kickstarter that we're launching here in just 20 minutes, the cat just freaked out. Sorry about that. This Kickstarter will basically give you access to the first 5 issues of White Widow, the first Here, I'll zoom down to the cover gallery. So you've got, we'll have up from issue 1, these are the extended edition reprints. Now, we didn't just reprint issue 1 when we sold out of issue 1 in stores. Instead, we added 8 extra pages. So you get an extra cover gallery and 2 extra pages of story, as well as exclusive cover variants. So many of these are sold out in stores as well, and highly sought after. So it's not it's not your typical reprint. Same thing for issue 2. Not only do you get the sexier covers, this cover is a completely new cover, as is this one is as well. But this has 12 extra pages, but it's 12 extra pages of story. What we did was we added the issue 2.5 from the Acme Comics exclusive that was kind of a free comic book day bonus story. We added that to this issue. So the extended edition actually is 32 pages instead of just 24. Then there are the retail editions of A, B, and C covers. Again, many of these are sold out in stores. So this is a kind of a last chance for some of these covers, especially the lenticular on cover 3. This is also the first crossover in our universe with Artemis from Dual Identity, as well as issue 3 marks a cameo of Blood Widow and Recluse. So it's a very important issue. I should mention issue 2 is the first appearance of a new character named Pulse, who is going to be a recurring character. So another key issue. I know for those collectors out there, that's what you're looking for, are key issues. And then we've got White Widow issue 4. Again, many of these covers have sold out. This includes the Jesse Witchman wraparound lenticular. It's our first wraparound lenticular and the first full appearance of Blood Widow. And then the issue 5s, which are on their way right now. These are the first appearance of I Make Boys Cry. So that's all 5 issues you can gain access to on this Kickstarter again, and ensure that we do have enough for everyone, as well as the first issue of I Make Boys Cry, all 3 retail edition covers. Next up are, now these are the ones, again, when it comes to what they call key issues, that's what basically all of these are. These are the first 2 issues of Absolute Flipbook, so you'll be able to get them right away. Many of these are not available in stores. Issue 2 is on its way right now. We've got the Amped series. The blue, for instance, sold out in stores. This cover's sold out. This cover, Amped, sold out on day 1. So we have the issue 1s and the issue 2s. By the way, when you see IMBC variant, I should mention this. This is you've got the White Widow variant, WW variant. That means White Widow variant. This is by Jamie Tyndall, and you can see White Widow hiding out in the background. On this was to celebrate the launch of I Make Boys Cry, and so you've got Slice from I Make Boys Cry hiding out in the background. This is by Crease Art. Once again, we've got Darkon, the first issues of that, first appearance of Darkon, as well as another major character. Won't spoil it. And then this is another White Widow. This is another Jamie Tyndall cover. And then here again, the I Make Boys Cry variant. is available. You've got the dual identity. Again, the White Widow hiding there on the Jamie Tyndall cover. And then the I Make Boys Cry ghosted out there. First Defense did not have a White Widow cover, unfortunately, but it is part. It didn't come out at the same time, but it is part of, as I said, the White Widow expanded universe. Then we've got First Defense. This is an I Make Boys Cry variant. Hiding up over here is Slice. We've got Katrina, another Jamie Tyndall cover, White Widow. The crease art, again, I Make Boys Cry ghosted right there. We have, now for Markiplier, where most of these we have the first 2 issues. Markiplier, we have issue 1, issue 2, and issue 3. Issue 4, I should mention, will have a White Widow crossover. So for you White Widow fans, plus Markiplier has a bit of an audience. We're talking 27 million subscribers, I believe he's up to. Wayward Legends, again, there is the White Widow variant there, and this is the I Make Boys Cry variant. And last, we've got Wayward Sons, the Jamie Tyndall White Widow variant, and the I Make Boys Cry variant. So now, again, these are all retailer covers so far. Now we're getting to the really fun ones. These are the metal covers. So these are only going to be available in this campaign. So these won't be available in other campaigns or things like that. So this is how you get them. You've got the amped. Again, this is a variant of a virgin variant metal cover. This is the brushed aluminum covers that go for $100 each. Normally, this is Jamie Tyndall. This is the Dark On cover. It's one of my favorite covers of his so far. We've got the Jamie Tyndall dual identity, the First Defense team shot, the Katrina version, the Markiplier version, the Jamie Tyndall Wayward Legends, and the crease art Wayward Sons. And for our top tier, these next 2 are only going to be available in our top tier. That is going to be the Randy Green I Make Boys Cry medal and the Nathan Surdy White Widow. And this is an issue 1 and this is an issue 5. So it's the latest, greatest issue that's coming out. So it's a great way to get very exclusives. The top tier is limited, which I'll talk about these tiers. Most of the tiers, what we're going to be doing that's a bit different this time is you're going to be able to kind of Chinese menu this. If you notice here, the add-on price, basically those prices set up what the prices are for kind of your ability to pick up stuff. So like, for instance, here where it says on the right-hand side, where it says choice of 2 $5 comics, you would come down here and say, I'll take a White Widow number 1A and an Absolute Flip book. Or here, choice of $5 comic, and then you get the Markiplier set. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but it gives you absolute flexibility on what you want to get. And obviously, if you don't see something exactly what you want, you can always add on to an existing package by doing an overpledge of that add-on price. So for most of these, it's the standard stuff. You've got the Wayward sets, the Markiplier sets, etc. And then you've got digitals. You can also do digitals. You can do all sorts of of things like that. But where it starts to really get kind of fun is, I'll explain these, and these are listed down here below the medals. These are the ones that needed just a little bit more explaining. Tier 25, you get the digital editions of the first issue of I Make Boys Cry. This is the extended universe digitals. Basically, you get the issue 2s of everything and the issue 3s of Markiplier. This does not include the White Widow. So that's the main difference here. Then the complete digitals, that then adds in the all 5 extended edition versions of White Widow. You get 0 issues and 2 bonus surprise digitals that we just want to surprise everyone with. So that's the difference between the extended universe digital and the complete digital. Totally Crying. Again, I always come up with goofy names for these. Sorry. Jenna laughs at me. These are the A through C covers of I Make Boys Cry #1. And you know how I was going through there talking about the IMBC variant editions of the second issues of Amped, Darkon, Dual Identity, First Defense, Katrina, Wayward Legends, and Wayward Sons. It includes all of them. So basically, it's Totally Crying. Tier number 38, it's you get all of the $5 covers. It's called the Complete Reader. So if it's a $5 cover, you get it. It's a great way to get reading copies, basically, and it includes the extended edition digitals. This is, I do list down here the value. That's if you were to a la carte, how much it would cost you. It'd be $215. And this is kind of one of the things we wanted to really do on this campaign is we wanted to make this affordable. We wanted to make it so that you can get huge discounts by getting this stuff in these sets. So for instance, Tier 38 Complete Reader, it's only $120, and yet it was a $215 value. And you'll see the value goes way up, but the costs do not. Totally Widowed, for instance, it's similar to the I Make Boys Cry, Totally Crying, in that this is the A covers of White Widow 1 through 5 and the White Widow variant editions of Amped, Dual Identity, Darkon, Katrina, Wayward Legends, and Wayward Sons. They're all sold out in stores. That's a $230 value. Again, not charging $230. And the White Widow set, it's all 15 covers of issue 1 through 5. Sorry, I put 1 through 15. I'll have to change that here in just a second. But before we launch, this is why sometimes you have to double check this, typos. The White Widow Complete, basically, it's, hold on, lost my place. It's A through C. Issues of 1 through 5. So basically, if you see the White Widow cover above, it's included in that tier. That does not include the extended editions. So the White Widow variants. That's the difference between Totally Widowed and White Widow set. And White Widow set is just White Widow proper. So if you didn't really get the series, this is a great way to get all 3 retail variants in one set for a great price. The B halving for Tier 41, it's all of the B covers, mainly B covers. Sometimes it was the C cover, but basically It's all of the $10 covers. If it's $10, you're getting it. Similarly, the full venti, I stole that from Starbucks. That term, that's all of the $20 covers. So if it's a $20 cover, you get that. The difference here is starting with number 42, tier 42, you're also getting the complete digital library included, which really ramps up the value. So then tier 43, extended universe set, it's everything in the extended universe for Absolute Flipbook, AMP, Dual Identity, First Defense, Katrina, Markiplier, Wayward Legends, Wayward Sons, plus the complete digital library, but not including the metal editions. Full House, it's add to that all of the White Widow and I Make Boys Cry variants. And then Heavy Metal Collector, as you would guess, it's all of the metals except for the White Widow and I Make Boys Cry metal. Yeah, that's only, those two are only available in tier 47, as we'll see in a second. Tier 46. Now this is where tier 46 is where things get really interesting. So as you can see here, $500. Basically, it's everything plus the metals for only $500 for the extended universe. So this is kind of the level that if you've gotten the previous Kickstarters for White Widow and you want everything Absolute Universe, including the metals, for the extended universe, then you can get that for only $500. To put that into perspective, you're talking 8 metals plus all of the $5, $10, and $20 copies, comics of each one of those books. So it's like buying the 5 metal editions and getting everything else for free, which is huge discount. And then for our top tier, it's a $600. For $600, you're getting everything. Plus, on top of everything listed above, you're going to get the 2 exclusive metals. You cannot buy those on it as add-ons. You can only get this in this campaign. That's the metal cover by Nathan Zerdy for White Widow and the Randy Green cover for I Make Boys Cry. And we're adding in all 4 volumes of Wayward Legends. These are signed by the entire creative team. They're very rare. There will never be able to be a signed edition of those books because Yujun Yang, the head of the studio over in China that worked with me on this, was hit by a bus. So this is kind of the only shot anyone will have of getting those, and once they're gone, this is a value of over $1,795. There's only 25 of these available, and this is the price of just 6 metals. So it's like you're getting 4 metals free, and all of those other comics plus the hardcover books as well. So I think we just really wanted to value price this. That's more metals than we've ever had in a top package in any campaign we've ever done. So we just really wanted to make this something super cool. So that's where we are. And now that brings us to, it is now 9 o'clock. And get ready. We're going to be launching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Project is now live. And there we go. So feel free to jump on and we will begin sharing the word. And while we do this, hi everyone. Louis, you just asked, when will I issue 1 start shipping? It is at the printer right now. We had some issues, so what we did was we actually uh, we had to switch up a little bit and move over to a new printer. Just given everything for our retail editions, we still are printing in China, the other editions. So it's kind of a mix, and we're just trying to really, work with this new printer, which has been challenging. We tend to do things far bigger and more crazy, I guess you might say, than um, than any of the other publishers that this printer is used to working with. So, like, our foils are always more intense. Our um, uh, demands on paper quality and stuff like that. So the books that we bring you guys are definitely not cheap. So that, in addition to, like I said, I for those who may or may not know, I did get to have my fun COVID moment, which is still um, it is still kind of haunting, but we're dealing with it, and it does not go away overnight. So um, so yes, they are on their way. We did not like that it was delayed, but we are getting there. So sorry for the slight delay, but we will be getting those out here. Cross our fingers very shortly. Albert says hello to Mrs. Powell in the back there. Feel free to chime in. Hello? I was talking about you.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I was just watching what you were doing over there.
Oh, yeah, just trying to get all of this going. Yeah, by the way, it is live now. So try and get a new, better, let's see. I think this is the new link. I will post for anyone who's missing. Feel free to jump in, guys. Hopefully we have a very small pledge goal on this one of only 5,000. But obviously one thing I do want to say about all of this is the more we make on all of these projects, the money isn't going into our pockets, sadly. The reason these projects exist is because the profits we make on these Kickstarters go to fuel the new projects. And so the more we can make on this, the more we put back in. So the bigger it can go, the bigger our universe goes, the more opportunities for merchandise, for multimedia things, video games, television, movies, etc. It all feeds from this. Everyone's looking for connected universes. And out there, Warner Brothers owns DC, and Marvel is owned by Disney. So yet there are a lot of other companies out there. But the opportunities are huge for connected universes, and there are not a lot of connected universes. You've got Valiant, which is already tied up, and kind of us. So, yeah, no. Sadly, the animated video, we did not hit that on the last goal. We just put that out there as kind of a fun, funny. Could we ever hit that? Who knows? Again, we don't um, expect that. I can tell you that there are things in the works that for all of the ancillaries, all the multimedia, all this sort of stuff that we are working on, and as soon as we can talk more about that, we will. But that was actually a real number. We went to our producing partners, Eisen Robbins and Amy Schoaf, and we're like, what would it cost for us to do a really high-end animated short film? And that's the number that they in addition to, because the way Kickstarters work is, you got to remember, let's say we make $1 million. Well, that's not that we're making profit on $1 million. It means that the million that is going to the product. So it's not like free money. So we had to factor out, if we did $1 million worth of orders, how much of that is profit, and that's what factored. So it wasn't like it was $1 million animated short film. It was more like a couple of $100,000 or so. But again, it's an example of, if we can make extra, we want to take that extra and not put it in our pockets, but instead put it into more product and more things for you guys to enjoy. Andy's asking, how are the other Kickstarters? We've got, so all of the collected volume, we've got 2 that are still being worked on. The collected volumes are all being worked on, the various components. So that, again, due to the wonderful world of COVID, got a little slowed down, but those are being produced in China. Then we've got the I Make Boys Cry and White Widow number 5, and I Make Boys Cry are in printing process right now, and a few weeks, give or take. Hopefully we can get those in and then out to you guys. To give you an idea on how long things take sometimes by boat, especially now, we literally have the issue 4s. It was the issue 4s of White Widow, which everyone got the 1st of July, the air shipment, and that had been delayed from, when was that shipped out? March, April, something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. So that got delayed during the whole COVID stuff. Like, literally, it was mid-transit, and they shut down air economy for FedEx, just completely. That is not a product that is even available, international air economy, anymore. And that's what we had paid for. And they kept saying, oh, it'll come back, I guess, to them over there, the brokers, because we did this through a broker. And the broker wasn't really responding to us. It was like literally somewhere, what was it, like Taiwan or Hong Kong or something. So that was crazy. And then we finally tracked it down, they literally had to ship it back, like send someone over there in a truck to get them. then take them over to FedEx, and then change the shipping over to like it cost us double what it normally would. It was quite ridiculous. And then those came by air, and then the stuff started shipping by sea. The remainders, when was that? May? I think it was May, right?
Might have been May.
Yeah. So
yeah, and then they arrive next week.
they arrived. No, they arrived. We picked them up on Tuesday of next week. So yeah, because we had to do the clearance. So that shows you. So May, June, July, August. Now we're September 18th. So sea shipments, everything is just going crazy. We got stuff coming through California. You got California on fire, which, our hearts and prayers go out to everyone who's dealing with that destruction and stuff out there. So, hopefully everyone, any of our fans who are out in California, are remaining safe. So yeah, Kickstarter shipments, sea shipments are being slow. Even air shipments have been slow. That's one of the reasons why we moved our retailer editions over to the US, to where it's less stuff having to come by air. I wish, in some ways, we could do all the stuff that we do in China over here. But the capacity, the printing capacity and costs are just, they're not here for us to be able to do that. Why not put a bigger goal? All right, so why not put a bigger goal and pay for printing the book in America? It's not just the costs. The costs are nicer, certainly, over in China. But and remember, just so you understand, like 3/4 of the books are the ABC covers for White Widow. So, and then all of these books, by the way, I should mention this. The one nice thing about this campaign for the Absolute Universe, all of these books are printed here in the US. So literally every single one of these, even the lenticulars, what we do is we print the covers, and they're already printed, they're already delivered, they're already at I sent the video on that. The lenticulars are all printed in China, but then they're assembled here in the US. But the fact is the paper quality is so much better in China. The holographic foils are only available that we use are only available in China. To give you kind of the difference, this is something fun. So this is the book that we use for foils from China. Helps if I have it the right way. So you can kind of see all of the options, and there are a lot of them. So that's China, and you compare that with the American foils, which are just, they're okay, they're not bad, but they're flat by comparison. So yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of just one of the things. Other things are like the metallic inks. For us to do the metallic inks, we print those in China, the covers, and assemble them here if it's that. But the mass production stuff we produce here in the US, it is double the cost, even doing it on those. But again, we're dealing with shipping production issues there, so we kind of bit the bullet, and that's what we That's what we're doing there. Then for everything else, again, the difference between retailer edition and Kickstarter edition is the retailer editions are 24 pages. The Kickstarter editions are 48 pages. So they're twice as big. Usually there's a paper bump increase as well as more bells and whistles like we've got the glow in the dark on issue 5. We've got the glow in the dark. We've got the limited edition lenticulars. We've got the sketch covers. We've got all of these kinds of covers that we cannot produce here in America or in Canada. So, and it's important for us to give you guys that quality and give you guys the scarcity and the collectability. One of the things too that if you look at some of these and you go, well, why is this cover $20? Are you guys just gouging us? It has to do. What's this? Oh, sorry to hear that, Jason. You lost your White Widow set. I'm not sure. Was it in a fire? What a flood? But someone stole it. Sorry to hear that. On the plus side, we do have a way you can get the whole reading copy sets of A through C here on this Kickstarter, which is still at 0. Don't know if it's just because everyone's already got these books or what. Please be sure and join if you don't. Like I said, the metal editions on this alone, I think on those top tiers are going to make this worth doing, guys. So if you've got the opportunity, sold a long box. So this was the answer from Jason. He sold a long box, thought he took them out, and he was wrong. He took a, oof, wow. Downside of selling, I guess. Sure, they're happy. Yeah, the Xerdi metal for those. So again, the metal editions, guys, as you know, we normally, to explain how these cover costs are, the metal edition covers are incredibly, first off, they're all handmade. You may not realize that, but these are individual. There's not like a press that shoots them out. So you've got man hours, then you've got because it's the metals are pressed, cut. They press them, get the metal sheets. Do we have? Yeah, I've got a metal sheet here to show you. So like this is for a retailer edition. So these are made, then they have to be like stopped from being sharp because otherwise you'd cut yourself right there on that edge. So those have to be like sanded and beveled. And then they ship these after they're done one at a time. They ship these to us. And then Jenna literally she gets to attach them to specially designed covers that we have. I don't think you don't have an example of one, do you? Up here. So using the
with a sketch on it.
Yeah. With a special adhesive that we use. And it's a nerve-wracking process for her because that glue starts drying instantly. And once you set even one section of it down, that's it. it's down. The whole thing has to go down in that direction. And then they have to be pressed. And then once they're pressed, they're stuck on there for forever. CGC actually will grade our metals because that's the type of care that is given to them. So it's a painstaking process. Doing one can take up a lot of time. Plus the actual material costs of having metal, the specialty inks, and all of that. No, Coffin, someone just asked, does Coffin doesn't put together? No, we have our own production facility. We do everything on the metals completely. So those are completely us. So then, and so like I said, on those, but then that's just a production. That doesn't take into account the artwork. So, you've got some artists anywhere from 500 to 1,000 to some artists are $2,000 for a cover. And simple math, let's say we did a 200 edition run for a $20 cover. Yeah, the total costs could be anywhere $13, $14 for the artwork, the shipping, the printing, everything total. So we're not even getting $13, $14, $15. We're not even making double on it. And so we're looking at a net profit of like what, $1,400, $1,200 on that cover. It's not a lot. And that doesn't include obviously the interior art. So this isn't something where it costs us $1 and we're selling it for 20 or 30. That's not the case. Because again, people forget that the artwork, we pay our artists. Our artists are all paid in advance. This isn't something where we pay them on a wing and a prayer. So yeah, they definitely are well compensated. So we absolutely appreciate the artists and stuff. We don't do these Kickstarter editions as a huge money grab as much as it is a big thank you, because we value each and every one of you guys. We understand that the collectors, the readers, and stuff that come through Kickstarter are the fans who are out there helping spread the word. You guys are the ones out there helping to say, hey, you guys should check this out. And our kind of way of thanking you is by providing these exclusive covers you can only get on these Kickstarters. And because of the incredibly low print runs, their collectability and their value as a result is typically higher. So, that is kind of our philosophy there. So hopefully, you guys see that we do appreciate all of you. Just to kind of give the rundown. I'm gonna see if I can open these. I'm going to show a little bit better image on each of these. So this is the metal that is only available in our top tier. There will only be 25 of this made. So this is the White Widow number 5. So you would be getting a 1 in 25 Nathan Zerdy which he has always proven to be one of our most popular. We've got, this is a Ruiz Burgos, and I believe the layout was by Tina Francesco. This is another metal cover. It's a Virgin for First Defense. It is the first. Now, this is another thing. These are the first metals of each of these books. I'm guessing Nick is asking what's the cost on the top tier. Yeah, the cost on the top tier is only $600. So you're getting 10 metals, and every A through C cover, or A through B, or A through D, or whatever we have, basically, if you see a cover listed, you're getting it in this campaign. So it's everything for $600. It's almost $1,800 worth of stuff. The way I look at it, it's like buying 6 of the metals and getting everything else for free. This is the Jamie Tyndall medal for Amped, excuse me. This one was one of the most popular for obvious reasons. This is the Markiplier medal. Again, first time there's a medal for Markiplier series. This is Brandon Peterson. You may recognize him as the Marvel artist. Yeah, I think he did like Iron Warriors. It was some Iron Man thing. I think he did Avengers versus X-Men, or I could be wrong. Then you've got, this is the Randy Green, I Make Boys Cry. Kind of a naughty cover there. To understand the more popular book character, the more issues printed, sold. That's when you enter the profit range. We make most of our profit on the retail editions. Just, I'm not gonna, if we make $100,000 on the Kickstarters, that's used for expansion, and then kind of our overhead is covered by the retail editions. So it's a combination of the two. So while the retail editions have a much lower price point, they have also a much higher print run. So let's say we do 30,000 retail editions of a cover A or something like that. On the Kickstarter, might be just a few hundred, or sometimes like with these medals, some of the medals might be only 10 or 25. So I can tell you that for most of these, in total, the total number of medals that can ever be produced of issue 2 is going to be like a couple hundred for any one series ever. That's the most. It's highly doubtful. Most of these are probably going to be around 20 or 30 copies for any given medal cover. Here is the Dual Identity medal. It's another Jamie Tyndall, which I love this cover. I think this is actually my favorite of Jamie's, though, personally. I think it looks amazing. He did a great job with this. This is Katrina, which is a very fun, quirky series that I'm the writer on. Then we've got Crease Art did an amazing job with this. It is the Wayward Sons cover, more appropriately called Wayward Daughters in this, since it's all the girls. And then this is the Wayward Legends. And then the last metal edition is the Darkon, which this is an Asian artist, Admira Wijaya. So Arthur was asking what happened with issue 5 and 6. And we answered that earlier, but just again, issue 6 will be we'll be launching the Kickstarter on it after this Kickstarter, and then the issue 5s are on their way. So as are issue 1s of I Make Boys Cry. Issue 2s of this Kickstarter are already at the printer. And issue 1s on this Kickstarter arrive by boat this Tuesday. We receive them. So yeah, we are getting caught up. Things got a little delayed, as I said, because yours truly, unfortunately, came down with COVID, and that was a very fun July.
And it was so peaceful.
Yeah, I basically had to quarantine in a hotel, and was closely monitored there by remote. That was not fun. I'm still kind
Left
of
me alone with a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old.
So, but yeah. No worries, Arthur. Yeah, we bottom line is yes, everything is getting back on track. We are working ahead, but am I better? There are definitely lasting things that still I have to be. For me, it's mostly my stomach issues that I deal with now, thanks to the COVID. It messed up my stomach severely. I get to eat Tums like it's candy. I have to watch what I eat. Otherwise, I get to, twice the flavor and 0 calories, as I say. They revisit, if you can catch my drift on that. Not fun, but and it's definitely affected. I'm easier to get winded, a little weaker, still very lethargic. So I hope all of you guys stay safe and no one gets it, or if you do get it, that you have a much less severe version than I did. My brother-in-law also had to deal with it. He was on a ventilator at one point, and he had to have a inhaler for quite some time. But yeah, the bottom line is we want this Kickstarter for you guys to be a way for us to have a very affordable and fun campaign. So you don't have to worry about these taking a long time. In fact, you'll probably be able to get the stuff from this campaign right after the stuff from issue 5 and issue 1 of the last campaign, perhaps even at the exact same time, because they're all being printed here in the US at the same exact printer that are doing the retail editions, because these are all retail editions. So thanks a lot, Chaotic. And that makes you our first, which, the nice thing with having a small goal is that already gets us, what is that, over 10% of the way, 12%, something like that. So yeah, it won't take much for us to fund this, guys. And remember, all of the funding from this goes, anything we get extra goes into producing more cool stuff for you. So it helps us to produce the issue 3s, the issue 4s, and so on. So yeah, we reinvest in the books. It also helps us to get, like, if we can get enough, it can help us to get more manpower. The more manpower we get, the faster we can get. We really want to get to a point. Our goal is by the first part of next year to be producing White Widow and I Make Boys Cry monthly. Okay, but that takes money. It takes money, and more importantly, manpower, because that's what the money goes to, is the manpower. To give you an idea, you'd be looking at, to produce the amount of output that we want to be doing, you're looking at a monthly budget of about $125,000, $150,000 for creative and overhead. So that's a lot. So we believe we can get there, but a lot of the delays in our first year had to do with cash issues, because for us to be producing issue 2, and for instance, when issue 1 was coming out, we had so many people order that we didn't even have, we had to sit there and collect the funds and stuff in order to go to print, and then it had to go to print, then it had to ship, and then it had to get to Diamond, for instance, on those retail orders, and then we had to get paid from Diamond, and then lo and behold, issue 1 sold out. And so we had to produce a second printing. So yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing where the delays have been just simply a facet of playing catch up with and juggling of funds and stuff, because the demand is just so high on these. But these are, from this campaign, these are your key issues, guys. I know that's the term the collectors like, and it's a very apt one. So you're getting, this is the White Widow universe. So everything that happens, I try and view this as, this is the same as the early days of Marvel when they were putting out the Fantastic Four, and then they put out Hulk and Thor and Iron Man and all of these books, and Spider-Man, and they all started to slowly kind of cross over. And then they said, let's do the Avengers. Let's put them all together in a team. I can give you this is building towards a big moment like that. So you're not going to want to miss out on any of these books. And the reason we did these prices as low as we did on this campaign, especially for the top tiers, where you can get everything. You can get, or if you just want the $5 issues, you can get the $5 issues if you want all this. I will say this, you can absolutely get any of these books at your local comic book store. You're going to be able to get the A, B, and C covers. So if you do want to support your local comic book store, absolutely, that's fine.
Well, for issue 1, it might be sold out.
Yeah.
Issue 2, they can ask them to.
Yeah. Issue 2s, if they're the issue 1s probably are sold out. So This may be the only way to get through issue 1s, but the issue 2s will be at your local comic book store, so you can ask them for that. So if you already have issue 1s and you want issue 2s, then that. The medals, however, will not be sold in stores. We do not distribute those. It's just it's too cost ineffective. B, they're way too fragile for us to ever entrust with Diamond. Like, yeah.
Plus a lot of man hours to make them.
Yeah. We cannot mass produce those. So we'd be talking literally a massive facility for us to try and have enough people. And frankly, Jenna does not want to parcel out that quality control. She's the reason why when you guys do your CGCs, you typically end up with really good CGCs. So you have her to thank. So but the Kickstarter, I literally, this is the craziest deal we've ever done, where you can get, gosh, how many books are this in it? I mean, it's a lot.
I counted it at one point for shipping.
Yeah. So yeah, we
believe it's over 60, close to 70 books.
60, 70 books, something like that, you're going to be able to get for, and 10 of which, like for the top one, 10 of which are metal books. So again, those retail, we retail them at 100. I've seen them on eBay and at local comic book stores for 200, 250. I saw some at conventions and stuff for 300. So, but just based off the $100 mark, that's a crazy deal for us to offer. So, but the reason I'm doing that is because I really want you guys to be exposed to just some pages to kind of show you all what some of these books look like. I'll start with like a flip book. You would think typically a flip book is not something that you necessarily, a lot of times the anthology books, or some places use them as kind of fodder, but let me see. Here's some of the interiors there. You can see high-end production values on the flip book. And then I'm going to pull up Amped, which Amped number 2 is awesome, but which you guys will see here shortly. But here's Amped number 1. This is Pasquale Quilano. It's just absolutely amazing. These are Marvel, what I believe are Marvel caliber. Nick just asked, the $600 tier will have the 10 medals. Correct. The $600 tier has not only the 10 medals, it has the every other cover in this campaign. So you're getting all of the series, issue 1 through 5's A through C covers of White Widow, A through C cover of issue 1 of I Make Boys Cry, issues 1 and 2, the of Absolute Flipbook, all of the covers for issue 1 and 2 of Amped, Dual Identity, Darkon, Katrina, First Defense, Markiplier, Wayward Sons, Wayward Legends, all of that, plus 4 hardcovers, 4-volume, 178-page hardcover volumes of Wayward Legends that are signed and numbered by the entire creative team. And these are high-end books. So, but as you can see, this is amazing artwork on Amped. You've got, let's see, show Dual Identity, or no, Darkon first. Here's the artwork for Darkon, which Darkon, again, issue 3 of Darkon completely crosses over with White Widow. So, and I think when you guys see that story, it's gonna blow you away. Let me pull up Dual Identity. Dual Identity, again, was the first series to cross over. It is one of our best sellers. It's fast approaching White Widow territory for numbers. So if you like a good spy thriller with a superhero spin, that's Dual Identity. For First Defense, where is, it helps if I, this is Tina Francesco, who is phenomenal. So again, I feel like our books compete on the same scale, in my opinion, as Marvel, DC. We are not trying to just crap this stuff out. We're not. We're definitely paying for the premium creative. Let's see. We've got, this is Katrina. Which is it's a funky book. It's a really funky book. Then we've got even Markiplier, you know, and you've got here he is with Darkon. Here he is with Wayward Sons. So again, it's a fun series. All of our books, I feel like the artwork speaks for itself. hopefully you guys like my writing, because I'm the writer on a lot of them. I'm not the only writer, but certainly I'm the creator on a lot that I'm not the writer on. So if you like White Widow, maybe you'll like these as well. I think so. So here's Wayward Sons. This is the last one I'll kind of bore you guys with. But Wayward Sons, Nigel Rayner is this is one of my favorite books to work on. I love his artwork. He's perfect for Wayward Sons. It's just gorgeous stuff. Very expressive. So, these are great books, I believe. So if you guys have a chance, hopefully you'll support this Kickstarter. You'll be able to get in on the ground floor of something I feel is an essential component of the White Widow universe. So, I do want to thank you guys for your continued support. Any chance you have to help spread the word, to help, by posting this on your Facebook page, Twitters, Instagram, telling your friends, even retailers and stuff. This is, frankly, the costs on this for even retailers is lower than what they could get even direct, because you're talking, what is that? I don't have a calculator up, but $1,800 worth of stuff is $600 is 1/3 of the cost. So you're looking at 33% of what you would pay a la carte. That's crazy. So, this is by far the lowest cost, highest value campaign we've ever done. So, and another thing too, we got Christmas coming up. If you've got people who you've been trying to get them in to White Widow or the White Widow universe, this can be a great way, even if you're doubling up on White Widow, or as someone was saying earlier, a great way to help start replacing collection. This is a cheap way to get so much. Like, even if all you're looking for are the medals, you can take the medals and gift the rest of the stuff, or keep your favorite covers and gift the others, or sell them on eBay, or whatever the case may be. It's a good investment, I think. So, but we need your help to help spread the word, because remember, every investment in us, we reinvest for you guys. By the way, I agree with this sentiment, talking about Jenna. She's the living Absolute Comics superwoman. So yes, I agree. She definitely, we've been building up the staff. A lot of it was Jenna and myself doing pretty much everything. And so now we have 3 full-time people in the warehouse. We have someone working on web, and which, if you've seen the absolutecomics.net, is starting to get updated, as well as our web store. That's Nubin is working on that. And then we've got Delaney has taken over a lot of the kind of the grunt work on stuff. She's also been putting together the long-awaited master list. We had
there's still a lot I have to do on that.
So a lot of you have been asking for kind of a checklist of all of our covers, and things got way out of hand with how many covers on the initials and exclusives and retail exclusives and stuff. So that things started getting kind of away from us. So we are now getting caught back up with that, and she's helping put that list together. But the more people we can bring on, the more things we can do, the faster we can get production. There's I'll just flash it quick. There's little hidden board over there that shows all of the projects that are being worked on. So if you noticed in that quick little flash, you'll see there's a lot, and it's all connected. I don't think there's a dog in the bunch. Our watchword is quality, and we do that for you guys. We have a very strong heart for producing good quality stuff for you guys. So I just want to thank you guys for your support. We're winding down right now, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Again, please continue to spread the word, and thank you very much.
Thank you.